Step 1 is to choose an opponent. You should try to keep it within your skill level, because if they're too bad, it'll be more boring to play them because you're just going to beat them. And it's good to choose someone like a lot better than you sometimes so that you can improve, but also losing repeatedly can also make you mad. And step 2 is to warm up. If it's you or your opponent's first game, it's generally a good idea to rally and warm up. A rally is just a casual back and forth on the table, and you should warm up until you and your opponent feel ready. Step 3 is to decide the serve. At Benedictine, the way we decide who serves is to play like beer pong, where you and your opponent take turns shooting the ball at each other's paddle. If it hits the paddle's handle, the serve is automatically yours. And in the Olympics, it's decided by a coin toss. Step 4 is to just serve the ball. The player who won the beer pong starts with the ball in his hand and hits the ball at the side of his table onto the opponent's side. This is the only time a player is allowed to hit the ball on his own side. But if the ball hits the net during a serve and lands on the opponent's side, it's called a let, which is just a redo serve. At BCP, the player who wins the previous point gets the serve, but in Olympic level ping pong, the serve is alternated every 2 points. Step 5 is just to play the game. The overall goal of the game is to hit the opponent's side of the table and have him either miss the ball completely, miss your side of the table, or hit the net, all resulting in 1 point. But an exception to a point gained by hitting the net is if it hits the net but still lands on the other side. There are a lot of different ways to get points. A few are repeated hard hits, outsmarting your opponent, spinning the ball, or prioritizing defense. Repeated hard hits can catch your opponent off guard, because the spiked ping pong ball is extremely hard to track and hit back. Outsmarting your opponent can be something like anticipating what he will do based on his body language and then hitting the ball in an unexpected way, like really late or on the side of his non-dominant hand. Spinning the ball can be easier or harder depending on what type of paddle you use and the grip that it has. The better grip means the better spin. Lastly, prioritizing defense is a good way to counter an overly aggressive player, but it's generally seen as a boring way to play. It's also good if you're down by a lot when your opponent is close to winning.
Try harder.
The game ends when a player reaches 11 points, but the winner must win by 2 points. An example is that you can't win 11 to 10, you have to keep playing until a 2-point lead is achieved. At Benedictine, games are usually played where the winner stays on and lets the next person in line play them. But in Olympic ping pong, games are played best of 7. And then at Benedictine, there's a rule where the player who's down at match point, which is when the opponent is at 10, gets to serve. If the serve misses, it's an automatic redo. This is only at Benedictine.